Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Dave Wilson of Results Staffing, and let's just make sure LinkedIn is live there, and there we are. Look at that. Hey, this afternoon I have a look at that. See, and I always mess up because I never shut the already. Hey, this afternoon I have Madison McCoog of TPI Staffing in Houston, Texas.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Well, Texas, I mean, come on.
Texas, it's hot. It's getting hotter. I feel like we haven't been outside since March, since like spring break.
What's the temperature there?
It's like getting close to the hundreds here already.
Wow, yeah, we're at 75.
Yeah, we're expecting to have a heat wave next week, a mini heat wave. So Texas summer is here.
I guess you have to be used to that because, wow, 100. Oh, my God. Madison, before we go any further, tell me about what you do and TPI Staffing. What do you do?
Yeah. So just to give you a little background on TPI Staffing, so we're a family-owned agency. We've been around for 30 years, and we specialize in light industrial and office professional recruitment. We really honed in on providing really great quality to our customers, as well as just really competitive rates. I think that's kind of our niche here in the Houston market, is that we can help, but also be affordable. You know, we're that family like feel where you don't feel like you're working with a stranger, you feel like you're working with your best friend or family. You know, that's what we pride ourselves on. So that's really something I felt like we've taken the time to hone in on over the last 30 years. And we're focusing on building the right team to have the right people in place that can add to that culture.
I can't even imagine how. And where are you located at in Houston?
So we're in Cypress. So we're kind of in the suburbs away from like Houston proper, but we have a Houston address, but Houston is giant. But we're off of 290 in Telge for my Houstonites that are watching this. But we're like Northwest Houston, and we have several offices. North Houston, we have a few in Dallas, we have some in Austin, San Antonio. Oh, wow. We have a few remote locations. They're not like major hubs, but yep.
How many offices do you have then around the area? How many branches? Or
major hubs? We have two major hubs, but we have several like remote locations that we're able to work out of if need be.
Here's a question that I didn't tell you because I told you to have a little fun since it's Friday, but
okay.
Houston Texans or Dallas Cowboys?
Oh my goodness. I can't, this is an insulting question. How dare you ask me about the Cowboys? I am a Texans fan, Dave.
All right. Well,
oh man, I'll probably lose some followers here that are national Cowboys fans, but we
have Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, so you know we're kind of the same way, you know. But that I tossed out there for some fun. I wanted to ask you, has the COVID in your area, you know, because like right now, Pennsylvania, we finally just turned to the yellow phase, which that means some of the businesses are starting to open up and certain things. Has COVID hit Houston strong? I don't watch the news as much as that.
Yes, it has. We were hit. We were hit for sure. And not only did we were hit by COVID, but Houston is an oil and gas hub for America. So it's like we were not only hit by COVID, we were hit by oil and gas. So it hit us hard. So we're starting to slowly open up, and oil and gas is starting to slowly tick back up, but we're all eagerly waiting for the economy to turn around and we're all desperate for human interaction at this point from being in quarantine. So
that's what I think. And when you say light industrial to us over here is, you know, your forklift, your anything motorized, but does light industrial mean the same thing for you there? Or is it when you say oil, there are different type of positions like skill set jobs also, or trades?
So we do skilled trade as well, like heavy machinists, skilled welders, just various like skilled trade, but we do all of like the light industrial, like the forklift operator, the shop hands, welder fitter kind of thing. So yeah, for sure.
And the logistics centers, you have all the major companies around you too. Same thing here.
We have a lot of logistics. We have two major international airports here in Houston. So that's logistics is.
Well, you're right in the middle. It's like you're at the end. You're in the middle. So I can imagine going out towards California and all that there also. What do you like opening up right now? I see the logistics centers and, some of the hospitals now are a little bit slower because everybody hasn't gone to the hospital here. So medical's kind of coming down. IT's leveled off to where that wasn't really a concern. What type of positions do you see starting to come back to you now as it opens up? If you had to guess,
we're still seeing a lot of medical manufacturing, like PPE, different products. Like we're seeing a lot of that still surging, just being that like the general population outside of like medical staff is needing masks and different gowns and like the plexiglass barriers at restaurants and retail stores and at like schools. Schools are starting to look into that option as well. So we're seeing a lot of different sectors open up. We're having a lot of clients move into certain sectors to help in that area. So, because we have a lot of oil and gas manufacturers like plastics, metals, different things. So they're trying to diversify themselves as well.
All right. And then how do you, I had talked to you earlier about it, is I call it the new workforce. Because what's happening now is with everybody that's, let's just say in the skilled market or professional services have been laid off, and now you see them coming out now. And I'm trying to figure out a plan on how to put some of them back to work, because a lot of people want this, but right now there's this. So what are they willing? And then they want the salary here, but what's salary? So it's, to me, I utilize like video resumes now and, to try to reach out to people. But are you seeing the same situation that I'm seeing?
As far as candidates or as far as
like candidates reaching out to you now? Like they're reaching out to you now. Are they different than prior COVID?
Yeah. So we work in like the temp to hire market quite a bit. That's kind of our specialty. So what we're fighting right now is those entry level jobs that are like, we're fighting the unemployment cost.
Right.
So they're making more with unemployment than they would be working at the same pay that they were getting prior to COVID. And how do we compete with that? Other than asking companies to raise their pay, which is right now like laughable, because like they're on a budget too. So it's kind of a catch-22. Like they need people, but they need to be able to up their pay in order to get people off the couch. So that's kind of our struggle right now. And that's what we're seeing a lot of.
And that's where I mentioned a couple of times in my shows is I try to speak to the clients also, and they're nobody's different because they're in the same positions. It's like, because now that over in this area, like, okay, people are going back to work, but now the daycare's just started. So with single parents, and some of them have changed shifts a little bit because one parent's work, I believe you have to change something. Somebody has to change a little bit, because of the insights that you see. Because I try to tell clients, listen, this is what they're calling me saying they don't have a sitter. The money, like you said, I think that's going to be until I think it's July 28th. That's when that's
temporary, but it's still a huge fight for 2 months.
It is. And I've offered a lot of it. I've said it around here, which some companies have finally started to, and I know it's hard, but part-time. Part-time is really opened up on the weekends here. I saw that the other week. I was like, wow, part-time, nice. Because that right now would be an easier fill, but just to get things started, and I know we can't all do that, but then it's just, I consider that saying kind of an enabling, but then again, it gives maybe for 2 weeks. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. It's
interesting. It's interesting to say the very least. We're having to get creative.
Right. All right. Here's a fun question that I didn't ask you about. When I think of Texas, naturally Steaks and Dallas Cowboys and the Houston, but where's the cowboy hats and the do you wear cowboy hats and cowgirl hats out there? Like
no.
You don't walk in your office with a hat?
That's something we have big hair. The bigger the hair, the more we care.
But don't the guys wear hats? Don't they?
No, it's more of like a baseball hat. You'll see guys in a baseball hat, but it's very uncommon to see people in a cowboy hat necessarily unless you're going to like the rodeo.
All right. Well, I always think I watch TV a lot. I see all the.
Yeah. We don't all ride horses to work, and there's no tumbleweeds on the side of the road.
All right. Well, I tried. I looked at one of your posts and I saw that we discussed different ideas, and we've talked before. And some of the things that I've shared with you and you shared with me is try to come up with something different. Something different.
Yeah.
And you said something about your Zoom meetings. What was that?
Yeah. So right now, I mean, I get 90% of my business going into buildings and meeting people because that's just kind of who I am as a person. I would rather meet you in person than call you on the phone. So I thought it would be a good way to, during this whole COVID social distancing, to set up a Zoom meeting instead of trying to go knock on their doors, to make them my clients more comfortable, my prospects more comfortable, to where we can kind of let our guard down and have a conversation where we're not sitting 8 feet back with masks and everything. So it's just a good way
for
invite
candidates.
Yep. I would set up like a Zoom link and send it out to my candidates and say, hey, like, I have this available. I have like a link where they can schedule with me. And a lot of my clients love that because it's just a good check-in way for them to schedule with me and keep in contact without being on the phone. It keeps it personal.
Well, these are the types of things that when I saw that, I never thought about that, because what a way to communicate.
Yeah. And it really does. I mean, it helps so much because there's so much that you don't see when you're on the phone. And I'm somebody that I believe a lot in body language. And so like I read a lot of my meetings and I read a lot of my clients on their body language. And so if I feel like they're interested in something or they're not interested in something, I can pick up my speed, slow it down, and I know how to gauge. But when we're on the phone, we lose that. We lose that personal kind of like intimate feeling that you only get face to face. And so I think the Zoom meeting isn't perfect, but it's a step in the right direction.
And what I enjoy about having guests like yourself, and listen, nobody in the Lehigh Valley wants to come on my show out of the 40 staff. They don't. Do you blame them? I mean, I'd be like, I competed with a lot of them, and I don't know if I antagonize them. I did a post saying I'm back, and what I've learned from like yourself, Richard, and Pittsburgh, and then Tennessee. And North Carolina, it's nice to reach out to other companies in the same industry and have a conversation about it, which my competitor, listen, I'm not in the corporate. That's why I left corporate, started my own. So it starts with me if I make a mistake. So it's kind of nice, in that way. Yeah. But I miss that. I think that's what I've learned on LinkedIn so much, is meeting people like yourself. And what I take away from this already is I've never heard of somebody doing that Zoom meeting to put a link out there and say, hey, we're here for you. Yep. If you have questions, because I know we're working in a temporary industry, even if everybody's got like, what about pay? What about this? And the company or the company up, you're able to answer some of that. Yeah. And it's such a huge asset. And just as a team, we've looked at it and we're like, why haven't we been doing this for years? I mean, more people, I mean, it's not the most comfortable thing to just be in a meeting in front of all these people with somebody that you don't know, listening to some sales pitch. I get it. Like, you don't want to be there. So it's on Zoom, you can at least be in your pajama pants and act like I know. And that's why I enjoy it, because this is the first time I ever worked. See, my vision, and I told you, was when I was in corporate world and for like 15 years in staffing, is in October, I had this strong vision of social media, everything going remotely to save the clients, both of us savings, lower retention, absenteeism, strategically placed remote recruiters, social media, everything that you have, even though I'm one person and I told you I have 2 people starting for interns, and I have everything you have right behind me. I have HR, I have safety, everything, invoicing. Yeah. It's just, and they're great experts, and I hold them accountable. Yeah. So when I say team, I just pick up the phone and say, what are you doing? I don't, besides I talk to Alexa a lot.
Alexa, stop listening.
Alexa, stop. No, she is the perfect, I don't even, this is she. let me tell you, that right there can save, I shouldn't even say it, that could save you a lot of money on a receptionist because she says
no, we know jobs. Dave, what are you talking about?
all I do is talk. Every time I talk, everything we talked about Texas, tomorrow in my email, something's going to come up from Texas. You watch. Something will come up about that because they listen, you know. A couple more questions. What are your strongest models? Like, do you go direct hires? Do you work temp to perm, long term?
We do what meets our clients' needs. I mean, if they need direct hire, that's what we do. If they need short-term assignments, that's not our target. Honestly, our target is more temp to hire for long-term assignments. But if we have a client that needs 20 short-term people, then we're going to do it. You know, I mean, being that we're family owned and we're smaller, we have the flexibility to kind of mold to what our clients need us to be. We don't have a set rigid, like we have to do this, we have to do it this way on this day. It's kind of, I don't want to say a free for all, but we can accommodate our clients a little bit differently than other companies can.
Trust me. The only reason you're on here probably because you're a family-owned business, because I've never been able to get a staffing company from corporate. They're not going to come on with, I'm sorry. I don't blame them because you have to be, it's not that you're extra careful, but we have a company over here and they're family-owned and he has like 12 offices. Okay. It's totally different. And I'm not saying anything different from corporate, but a family-owned, it does make, there's a lot difference of, I'm not going to say different policies. Everything's the same. It's just a different feel.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that's the way I look at it. Do you utilize social media a lot out there? In Texas, you know, do they even know what that is? Or
yes, we do. We're not aliens, I promise.
All right. I didn't know if you had the cows and all the, like, if you even had telephones or all that.
I know. I mean, when we're not busy farming and tending to the land, we do know what social media is.
All right.
No, we are very strategic with our Instagram, Facebook. We're even on Pinterest.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, because think about it. When somebody looks up, what should I wear on an interview? What's going to come up?
Staffing, or job interviews and
job-related searches. And that's perfect for the staff. I mean, why isn't staffing in that space? You know, if people are searching it, we need to be there.
See, that's where I'm in my mind. Now you're not going to have me sleep tonight because my wife's on Pinterest all the time because she follows people that does design. Like she makes all her own stuff right now. And it's all off of Pinterest from soaps. And that makes sense. But I've never utilized that here. There's a Snapchat and all that stuff like TikTok and all that. I don't know. But Instagram's big around here for the millennial. What do you call them? Millennials, yeah, because I'm the I don't even know what I am, right? And that works around here a lot. Social media, live videos help. They help us a lot. Oh.
They do. I know I haven't done a live myself until today, but I've seen
even know it.
You what?
I wouldn't even know it. You're a rock star.
Oh, thank you. I like my pre-recorded videos, but I haven't been brave enough to do a live just yet. But no, I mean, I see the attention and the friction that they're all getting. So it's like, why not? You know, I mean, if you can do it live, do it.
Do it. Yeah, that's what works here because right now, social media right now, as I try to tell everybody, and then we'll wrap this up, is you can post all the ads that you want, but what's happening is a lot of the bigger companies are purchasing ads. So the organic reach is low, but those live videos, just like now with LinkedIn and then sharing this with YouTube, it really just gets the conversation, going. So, all right. So on that note, if you had to say in your area to, someone new coming to a staffing agency that's never been to them, what do you recommend?
For a candidate?
Yeah, for a candidate.
Somebody new, I would definitely say just to practice. I mean, use staffing for what it is and come in and practice with your recruiters and ask questions. And I mean, Google tips on how to interview and use that. I mean, for instance, like when I moved to Houston, I was in the dental field for several years and I had no idea what it was like to interview in like the corporate kind of like feel. And I was so out of my element. And when I came to TPI Staffing, I sat down with the recruiter and I was like, I'm terrified. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. I don't know what you're looking for. I don't know what it is that I'm supposed to be doing with my hands. And she answered my questions. She looked over my resume and she saw me, and she really helped. And that's Samantha Schultes, and I will shout her out in this comments as well. But she took the time to see me as an individual and help me with my needs. And I think that's what so many people are afraid of. They're like, oh, well, if I don't fit one job, then they're not going to help me. But no, like go in and ask questions, and don't be afraid of a different opportunity. I came in looking for a possible like executive assistant position, and here I am on our on TPI sales team. I wasn't even looking for an internal role, and here I am. So
that is what's nice. And that's what I tell everybody. If I was to lose my job, well, I'm not gonna. The worst thing, if this COVID will not meet me, the worst thing that's going to happen to me is I'm going to work at Amazon on night shift. Yeah. And then I'm going to go ahead and still do staffing during the day. But I utilize it the same way. All my jobs, the last 3, only in 30-something years, have been through a staffing agency to start. Because if I was a worker right now and I lost my job, I would go to all 15 of them, walk in, here's my resume, sign up. This is what I'm looking for.
Yep.
So it stays on file, because I really do believe in that, because you have a team working for you, because all of a sudden a job comes up, you're going to be like, oh, what was that person? And you open your database. And then on a Sunday night is what started my last career of 11 years. I was on a Sunday night. I got a call out of nowhere from the staffing company that I applied. So that's what I try. Don't be scared of a staffing company, because here it's a stereotype. Some of the companies, staffing. No, there's some really, really great companies that want to help you. And like you said, make you feel comfortable. Yeah. That's the first thing. And listen. And what I've learned with the new candidates coming in is everybody says I don't listen. All the recruiters in the past, it just takes a little bit from here to here to come out. Yeah. But I breathe, listen, and hear the little things that they're saying, what they want. Mm-hmm. And that really breaks the ice, and then I can try to help them. If I can't help them, I'm honest. I'm like, you know what? I can't do this for you, but I know somebody that can. Yeah. And then I send them. So, all right. Well, I want to thank you so much. Text is, I'm not going to forget it. What's that?
I said, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, we're going to keep in touch, because I'm never going to forget you, because you're a staffing geek. Or nerd? Was it nerd?
Oh. No. I can talk staffing forever, all day, every day.
I know. It's exciting. It is. It's exciting, and it's rewarding.
It is.
I love it just to see somebody's face and help them, because with the COVID and, same thing with everybody's positions with jobs, it's upsetting, so. Yeah. All right. Well, I told you before, we'll look for the steak. I was going to say, remember I said Omaha, but that's Nebraska.
I know. We got to get you a Texas Longhorn steak.
All right. So I want to thank you so much. And I know we're going to keep in touch, because we're going to start teaching each other some different things. And I really appreciate it. So on that note, we're going to end here. We're going to make sure, because I am not in my pajamas. So here we go. All right. And then we are going.